Locally owned and operated by Radio FM Media. We are your Bison Nation station.
And number one for classic rock that really rocks. 107.9 The Fox.
Now, here's today's headlines with the Fox Morning Show.
On 107.9 The Fox.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
Can we turn the radio on?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Well, this is rather festive, isn't it?
It's my favorite time of year.
How many days till Christmas vacation?
This is your vacation.
Get to work, Elf. Son of a nutcracker.
It's go time.
Right, this is your vacation.
That's right. And it is go time. If you haven't finished up shopping, this is your last week, man.
Christmas week has a lit.
Yeah, exactly. 1 week from today, man.
It's it.
We're opening gifts from under the tree.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, welcome to it. It's going to start off on the cooler side for your final week before Christmas, but still really nice for this time of year. That Fox forecast says lots of sunshine today in 20s, but then 30s for the rest of the week and maybe even 40s by the weekend.
How about that?
Yeah. And
Thanks, Santa.
Right? And no mention of any precip at all. So if you've got travel plans for the holidays, you should be good to go for at least in these parts. Yeah.
No, we had a little bit. Did you have some on Friday night?
Yeah, had some Friday night.
Yeah.
And then just kind of a weird, quick, I don't know.
Yesterday,
flurries.
did you guys get some kind of a mini blizzard?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it was weird.
I was actually sitting there in the parking lot of Shields waiting for Wendy to come out, and I'm like, my God, what just happened here?
Hey, our buddy Thumper was over. We were, doing some stuff, and he got a call from his wife saying, we had a mini blizzard in Moorhead. Like, oh, get me one. I like the fudge.
There you go. All right, so that complete Fox forecast, of course, anytime at 1079thefox.com. As I mentioned, it's quite cool this morning, just 10 above at 6:02.
Welcome to it. Here's your Monday, the 18th day in December already. Here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. Well, with only 6 bell-ringing days left, the Salvation Army in Fargo is reaching out to the community to help reach its 2023 Christmas goal. To date, the Army has raised $396,946.94. It's only almost 42% of its $950,000 goal. Major Abe Tamayo says that while the Red Kettle Bell ringing campaign is keeping with last year's giving, our mail-in donations are down significantly. Christmas is our single largest fund drive of the year. While funds raised at Christmas support holiday events, the Salvation Army says they also help to serve local needs throughout the year. Responders have been working to rescue dozens of people stranded on ice on Upper Red Lake. This happened last year, too. It happens almost every year. According to Beltrami Authoritas, approximately 50 anglers became stranded on ice that broke away from the shore after strong winds caused the ice to shift on Sunday evening. It's a popular fishing destination. It's happened before. Last year, over 200 anglers were rescued after a large chunk broke free on Upper Red Lake. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources rolled its eyes and said, remember, at least 4 inches of ice is needed before going out on a lake. Clear ice is the safest on a lake, and 5 to 7 inches of ice is needed for snowmobiles and small ATVs. And DNR added that 7 to 8 is needed for side-by-sides and 9 to 10 inches for a small vehicle or SUV to go out on the ice. I prefer around 6 feet.
Want that thing just all the way through.
Oh, my. I want to chip away at the ice to get my fish. Wonka debuted on top of the domestic box office over the weekend. $39 million, not bad.
All right.
Not even close with second place, Hunger Games. I didn't even know this came out. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. $6 million.
$6 million?
That's it, yeah.
I saw a trailer for it. Who's in it? Is... a lot of the main
idea. I barely know anything about it. Yeah, it was kind of a week. The Boy and the, I almost said heroin. The Boy and the Heron, $5.1 million. And Godzilla -1, which I've seen a little bit about. That looks good.
Yeah.
And the rest of them, nice try. On Friday, the L.A. County Medical Examiner's Office released an autopsy report stating Matthew Perry's cause of death. The Friends actor died due to the acute effects of ketamine. The medical examiner's office shared that the level of ketamine found in his blood was equivalent to the amount typically used for general anesthesia.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
That's
too bad.
Yeah, that's
so
too bad.
I think there's still an investigation on how he got so much, right? Because it's some new experimental drug to work with depression.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. And so it wasn't that he was taking it illegally.
No, but he took way too much.
Too much.
Way too much. Yeah,
So
they're looking into it.
Yeah.
For sure. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see where that follows up. And, yeah, if there's a problem, like that's the only problem in Hollywood. But, yeah. Right, as far as that sort of thing and other stuff. And sad to report, Colin Burgess, the original drummer for AC/DC, died at the age of 77. The band posted on social media, very sad to hear the passing of Colin Burgess. He was our first drummer and a very respected musician. Happy memories, rock in peace, Colin. They fired him in 74.
I know, because he was drunk.
That's kind of funny to me.
Well, of course it is.
You know, being that, just the history of the band and how everything that happened. They said he was drunk on stage. Burgess said somebody spiked his drink.
Well, of course they did.
I didn't taste any rum in that. That's your news for right now. Rest in peace, Burgess.
It's basically the same thing that happened to Steven Adler, the original drummer for Guns N' Roses. They kicked him out because he did too much drugs.
You could do drugs, but just not crazy amount of drugs.
Right.
Yeah. God.
There's a standard here, okay?
Yeah, you're right. There's a threshold. You stepped over it.
That's right.
You're out of the band.
All right, coming up this morning, hey, we got all the highlights and lowlights with our weekend roundup, plus a recap of Saturday's Bison game with Sam Niederman later this morning. Speaking of, all of our favorite teams lost over the weekend. We'll look at all of that for you and more next in sports.
Miller, right wing, dribbles between the legs, now drives, squeezes through a shot, banks it in off the glass. Javis Miller with 15 points puts the Bison back up 58-54 and silences the crowd.
Yeah, Miller led the Bison with 18 points yesterday, who led at halftime 35-28, but unfortunately, dang it, the Redbirds came back to beat our Bison 75-65. I was hoping, with the way the weekend had been going, that maybe our basketball team would come out on top.
Little bit of a rally for the Bison.
Now the Bison will travel to Carbondale, Illinois to play Southern Illinois tomorrow night. Catch all the action right here on your Bison Nation station with coverage starting at 6 and tip-off at 7. So, yes, back there on Saturday, the Grizz topped our Bison in double overtime.
Damn it.
So the Grizz are off to the title game. Meanwhile, that ends up being the final game for NDSU head coach Matt Entz, who earlier in the week announced that that he'll be the new assistant head coach and linebackers coach at Southern California.
USC, yeah.
Yeah. Entz was 60-11 in 5 years as the Bison head coach. Man, that's pretty damn good.
Yep.
60-11. Are you kidding me?
That's a nice. That's a nice. Nice ending for that.
Absolutely.
His tenure there, yeah.
So now steps in, as of yesterday, NDSU announcing Tim Polasek, your new head football coach. He will be the 32nd head football coach in the program's history.
Man, they didn't waste much time.
No. He returns to North Dakota State from Wyoming, where he was the offensive coordinator under former NDSU head coach Craig Bull for the past 3 seasons. Again, Polasek, very familiar with NDSU, had a couple of stints here already with
I know there was a lot of talk about Roll and Tyler coming in on that, so
we'll talk more to the voice of the Bison, Sam Niederman himself, about all that with the Bison Blitz, presented by Pendleton Whiskey, a true Western tradition, at 8:20 this morning. Also, way back there on Saturday, feels like it was a week ago already, but our Vikings lost a heartbreaker in overtime, 27-24. So they go to 1-8 now in Vikings history at Cincy. Just not a place where they've been known to win. In the last 2 times they've been there, it's been overtime field goals that they've lost to. I felt like the Vikings were the better team, but the Bengals did leave some big plays out on the field early, but then rallied, of course, to come back to win.
They did, yep.
But the loss didn't hurt the Vikings at all. They remained in that 6th seed.
Because everybody lost?
Pretty much.
Right? Pack lost.
Yep. So with 3 games to go, the Vikings will be hosting the Lions this coming Sunday on Christmas Eve. It's a nooner. The Lions taking care of the Broncos in a big way back there on Saturday. But the Bears and the Packers both losing yesterday. With that loss, the Packers fall all the way from the 7th seed all the way to the 11th seed, so they're out of the playoffs. And the Rams step in now at that 7th seed after their win yesterday.
Well, wow.
Yeah. So also the Cowboys lost to the Bills in a big way, 31-10. Did not see that coming. And then the Ravens rocked the Jags last night on Sunday Night Football, 23-7. Week 15 wraps up tonight with the Eagles at the Seahawks on Monday Night Football. And we'll also be talking to Sam about his 3 quick picks in the NFL as well later this morning. That's your Fox Sports. Lots there going on. That Fox forecast again today, cooler than it has been, but lots of sunshine and 24. 30s the rest of your work week and 40 by Friday. It's 10 above now at 6:13.
Coming up on this Christmas week, what you didn't know about your dog and what you probably had correct about your cat. That's coming up.
Mark calling Orson. Come in, Orson.
Now, here's the Fox Morning Show.
With Nerd News.
Nanu.
On 107.9, the Fox.
Oh, it's time for some nerd news, Dave.
Oh, it's a little science on a Monday.
That's right. And we'll start with this. Would you consider yourself a morning person? Even though I know you and I both do morning radio. Are you a morning person?
30 years of morning radio has made me into a morning person. So,
ditto.
Saturday and otherwise, dude, I'm total night owl. And nowadays, I find myself getting up, even when I don't have to, and just enjoying the quiet of the day and having a cup of coffee, maybe throw down some Tomb Raider on the Xbox One. I don't know.
Yeah, before I got into this biz, like you said, almost 30 years ago for me, too.
Dude, yeah.
I was always a night owl.
Night owl. Yep.
And when I do take extended time off, I go right back to being a night owl.
I love staying up late. I hate going to bed.
Well, it says here, if you are a morning person, it might be because you're part Neanderthal.
Oh, you're a knuckle dragger.
And it's all because of our ancient ancestors. They say that we still have up to 4% Neanderthal DNA in us.
You could sure tell with some of the folks that are walking around out there with that heavy brow ridge.
Yeah, there might be some out there with about 10%.
A little higher than 4%, yeah.
And according to this new study, they found a lot of those leftover bits affect genes that govern our internal clock, and certain variants make you more likely to be a morning person.
Not unlike us cool Cro-Magnon men that like to stay up late and party.
That's right. Woohoo! Now, how about some dog news? All right. This is according to a study that goes all the way back to 2014, that dogs are actively trying to make us laugh. And they continue to do the...
They do. I mean, they scoot their ass across the floor. That's hilarious to me. I know it's gross on the carpet. Yeah, you just put up some circus music and it's a hoot.
I know my dog makes me laugh every day.
Yeah, I love my dogs.
So this study, though, has been continuing since 2014, and what they have definitely found is they're good at reading emotions, and they might prefer laughter over other sounds.
Oh, wouldn't you? Yeah, you weren't happy over mad.
I suppose, like when they drag their ass across the floor and you and I laugh at it, we're kind of training them.
He likes that.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Hey, Dad, check this out.
But then there's Wendy. Will you knock it out, Boomer?
That's gross. Just cleaning his glands, hon.
That's right. That's right. But in cat news, there's a new study that found that cats are cutthroat murderers, and they're wanting to kill and just eat about anything.
Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. Cats rarely have a sense of humor. And every time, I mean, my cat always looks at me like I'm asking it for a ride to the airport. My cat looks at me. I'm like, what?
I've seen that look.
Yes.
I've seen that look. Well, there you go. So now you know. That's why we might like dogs a little more than cats. They're not trying to kill us.
No, they're cutthroat.
Now here's the Fox Morning Show.
107.9 The Fox.
I saw this video when I was off there for a couple of days, and I thought of you because this sounds like something you would do, Dave.
Uh-oh.
This is a very, very funny prank.
Oh, that's nice.
Will you get me a latte, please? If you sing it as well, apparently they give it you for free.
If I sing...
Fa la 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 la
You want me to sing
latte.
that?
It's off the secret menu.
You sure?
Yeah, it's from the Christmas menu.
Good morning, welcome to Costa.
Can I order the fa la 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 latte?
The latte?
The fa la 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 one.
The horse of bells and holly.
Are you serious? Is it off the secret menu?
We don't have a secret menu.
You're an idiot.
So,
sorry, can I just get a latte, please?
Why? I hope that's not a snelled hook in your mouth, you chump. Way to fall for it.
Tell me you wouldn't pull that on someone.
Oh, I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely,
pretty
I would.
That's
Absolutely. I remember sitting at the Cheyenne Bar back when before it was Big Irv's. It was the Cheyenne Bar in Horace, and we were sitting with some friends, and it was busy in there. This one guy was trying to get, and I knew the bartender's name. But and she was yelling to her, and she goes, "What's her name?" And I said, "It's Phyllis." And so she's yelling, "Phyllis! Phyllis!"
See?
And the bar just packed. I'm just laughing. Phyllis! You want another fill up? What'd you asking for?
Yeah.
Yeah, fill us up, please.
Just like this woman who pranked her boyfriend again and got him to order a fa la 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 latte.
Can I order the fa la 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 latte?
the latte?
The fa la 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 one.
I can't believe you fell for that.
This is the Fox Morning Show.
Now trending. Now, here's what's trending on 107.9 The Fox.
Well, how about this story? 2 passengers have been banned from Carnival Cruise Lines for life.
Banned for life?
After catching a fish from the balcony attached to their room.
Is that frowned on cruises?
I guess.
I've never been on a cruise. I guess they don't like you throwing a line. What's the beef?
Oh my God, you actually caught a fish. Oh God, don't swing it into somebody's place. Oh, sorry. You could say you caught a fish in the Bahamas.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You might hook somebody else.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah. Yeah, I have never been on a cruise either, and so maybe those rooms are just that close to each other that it's a safety thing, right?
Right.
It's a hazard that you're throwing a line with a hook.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I paid a lot of money for this cruise.
It seems kind of, I don't know, heavy-handed. A lifetime ban?
Lifetime? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to look it up quick, and it says you can't fish off a cruise ship because
and
it's forbidden to toss anything overboard.
Okay.
And dangling a fishing line would fit in that prohibition. You'd be creating potential dangers for crew and other passengers.
Okay.
You would not be able to catch fish from a large ship on the move at the speed it's traveling. It's too fast.
Here it says they happen to be docked in the Bahamas, and that's when he tossed the line.
Yeah, it says it's absolutely not permitted as it will present a hazard to not only marine wildlife, but a hazard to the ship if items swung from a line onto other balconies.
So why wasn't he told when he showed up with his fishing pole?
Oh, wait, now I asked, can you bring your own fishing gear on a cruise ship?
Yeah.
And it said yes. Most cruise ships will allow you to bring your gear on board, but it's important to note that you have to use it at port use off the ship.
Okay.
Not on the ship.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's why.
That's also a great way to snag some drugs from somebody that's walking around on the boardwalk. Just cast your line out there in case they're checking you on the way in. You know, if you're stopping out of Jamaica or something.
Right. You be drumming, man.
Yeah.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
Can we turn the radio on?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Well, this is rather festive, isn't it?
It's my favorite time of year.
How many days till Christmas vacation?
This is your vacation.
Get to work, Elf. Son of a nutcracker!
It's go time.
It is go time.
Isn't it? This is 1 week from today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll be too late.
Chop. And we're starting out this final week before Christmas on the cool side. That Fox forecast today, just 24, which still isn't that bad for this time of year.
No.
Yeah, lots of sunshine, too. In fact, dry the entire week. There's no mention of any precip in any form. So that should be good for traveling plans if you got some this upcoming week.
I think we were hip deep in snow last year this time.
Right?
I think we were. I remember seeing pictures this weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, gee.
And a gradual warm-up, too, with 30s for much of the work week, and by Friday, 40. It's all there for you at the website, 1079thefox.com. It's a chilly, just 8 above now at 7:05.
18th day of December already. Can you believe that? Happy Monday. Welcome to it. Here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. Well, Salvation Army is asking for the public's help in reaching their goal. There's only 6 bell-ringing days left, and they're reaching out to the community to help. To date, the Salvation Army has raised almost $400,000. It's only a little over 41% of its $950,000 goal. And Major Abe Tomeo says while the Red Kettle Bell Ringing campaign is keeping with last year's giving, our mail-in donations are down significantly. Christmas is our single largest fund drive of the year. While funds raised at Christmas support holiday events, the Salvation Army says they also help to serve local needs throughout the year. Responders have been working to rescue dozens of people stranded on ice on Upper Red Lake. According to Beltrami County authorities, around 50 anglers became stranded on ice that broke away from the shore yesterday, which after strong winds caused the ice to shift. It said it's been a very popular fishing destination and frequently used before ice is stable, and that results in rescues either from falling through the ice or floating on ice that is broken away. Last year, over 200 anglers were rescued. This was at one time after a large chunk broke free on Upper Red Lake. So, well, they're saying at least 4 inches of ice is needed before going out on a lake.
You know, maybe if they hand them a bill for the rescue.
Start thinking.
Maybe.
Yep. I don't want to pay $600 like I did last year to get a ride back off my ice floe. Apparently there's no narwhals to give you a ride like on Elf.
That's right.
Well, on Friday, the L.A. County Medical Examiner's Office released an autopsy report stating Matthew Perry's cause of death. It was due to acute effects of ketamine. The Medical Examiner's Office showed that the level of ketamine found in his blood was equivalent to the amount typically used for general anesthesia when they knock you out.
Yeah, I guess they were using it for his depression, which is kind of something new that they've been trying with depressed patients.
Well, it works great. Just,
that was just too much.
It was just very easy to overdose on something like ketamine.
So I think they're looking into how he had that much in his system.
Yeah, that's
crazy. And I guess his, right-hand guy,
his handler, his guy, his
handler guy. He had just left.
Yep.
His assistant.
He had just left for something.
Yeah.
Yep.
And came back and found him.
Sadly, a perfect storm of tragedy there. Well, if we go from that to a holiday miracle, a baby who was sucked up into a tornado was found alive and well in a fallen tree.
Wow.
4 months old. This baby boy went flying when a twister ripped through his family's Clarksville, Tennessee home. Mother Sydney Moore was able to dive on top of her 1-year-old, but little Lord was sucked out before she could reach him. Wow. Her fiance tried to save the baby and was also thrown out of their trailer. He was just holding on to the bassinet the whole time, and they went into circles, Moore said. After the storm, baby was found in a tree unharmed.
Wow.
How about that? There's a GoFundMe set up for the young family, but not a scratch on him.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, you talk about a Christmas miracle,
right?
Man. Yeah. And not so much for a Japanese man who used such a large amount of insecticide to kill a cockroach that he caused an explosion.
Oh, no.
54-year-old Kumamoto resident attempted to kill a cockroach earlier in December using the flammable spray. The apartment shortly blew up thereafter. It was a large enough explosion to blow out the balcony window.
Ooh.
It's unclear if the cockroach survived the blast.
I bet he did. He did.
I will bet money that cockroach just laughed and crawled away.
Right.
That's your news for right now.
Headlines brought to you by Western State Bank. Western State Bank is your hometown bank in Fargo and West Fargo. Coming up here shortly, all the highlights from the weekend, like Dave taking his grandkids to the holiday train.
Oh, that was fun.
I got to see Night Ranger back there on Friday. And then there's some lowlights, too, like our Bison. And we'll talk more about that coming up next in Sport.
Miller, right wing, dribbles between the legs, now drives, squeezes through a shot, banks it in off the glass. Javis Miller with 15 points puts the Bison back up 58-54 and silences the crowd.
Yeah, Miller led the Bison with 18 points yesterday for our Bison men's basketball team. They had a great first half. In fact, they went in at halftime up 35-28. But dang it, the Redbirds came back to win 75-65 to beat our Bison.
Must have been a heck of a charge at the end there.
Yeah, and so now the Bison remain on the road. They'll travel to Carbondale, Illinois next to play Southern Illinois tomorrow. That tip-off at 7 with coverage beginning at 6 here on your Bison Nation station. Just a day after, of course, our Bison football team lost in double overtime to the Grizz. What a great game, though. That ends up being the final game for NDSU head coach Matt Entz, who earlier in the week announced he'll be the new assistant head coach and linebackers coach at Southern California. Entz leaves with a 60-11 record over the 5 years as the Bison head coach. Very impressive. Thanks for all the years and memories, Coach.
Yeah.
And what a season.
Good luck in your future with USC.
What a way for the team to rally and put up a fight all the way to the end. So hats off to everyone that was involved and all the fans.
It's a tough field out there, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yesterday, NDSU, though, announced the next chapter as they named Tim Polasek as the new head football coach. He returns to North Dakota State from Wyoming, where he was the offensive coordinator under former NDSU head coach Craig Bull for the past 3 seasons. But he's been here a couple of times under a couple of different situations in the program.
So he's kind of coming full circle.
Absolutely. So we welcome him with open arms, and we'll have more on this next hour when we talk to Sam Niederman, the voice of the Bison, during the Bison Blitz presented by Pendleton Whiskey, a true Western tradition. Also a heartbreaker back there on Saturday for our Vikings, who seem to be the better team for the most part, but the Bengals did leave some big plays in the first half, but rallied in the second half to come back and win in overtime over our Vikings 27-24. Dang it. But it didn't hurt the Vikings. They stayed there in the 6th seed in the playoff picture. They don't lose any ground.
Which
it's just crazy to think.
Crazy to think that, yeah.
Yeah, with
looks
3
like
games to go.
Mullins is going to get the start again. He did a good enough job that I'm sure he's going to get the nod.
I think so. I mean, the coach did leave the press conference with a statement saying he will still look at everything.
And you got it. That's your job. Yeah,
absolutely. They will be hosting the Lions next here on Christmas Eve this Sunday. It's a nooner. The Lions, who just beat up the Broncos back there on Saturday night. Boy, that wasn't even close. But the Bears and the Packers in our division both lost. And for the Packers, they fell out of the playoff picture from the 7 seed all the way down to the 11th seed.
Yeah.
The Rams, with their win, jumped into that final spot at the 7th spot. Also yesterday, the Bills blew out the Cowboys 31-10. And on Sunday Night Football, the Ravens over the Jags 23-7. Week 15 wraps up tonight with the Eagles at the Seahawks on Monday Night Football. We'll also visit with Sam about his 3 quick picks in the NFL, which weren't all that good this week. We lost some money. But we'll bounce back.
I want some answers.
That's your Fox Sports. That Fox forecast again today, starting out chilly with a high of just 24, but 30s the rest of the week and maybe even 40 by Friday. It's only 8 above now at 7:16.
Hitch up your drawers. We got the weekend roundup. Highlights, lowlights, mostly those, but we'll talk about it next.
Now here's the Fox Morning Show
with a weekend roundup. Giddy up, y'all. Kriya!
On 107.9, The Fox.
All right, Dave, how was the weekend?
Man, what a great weekend we had. It was damn near perfect. It would have been perfect with a Viking win and a Bison win. It would have been perfect, but we kicked the whole thing off Friday. All our kids and grandkids came out early. We had a pizza party because the holiday train was coming through Enderlin. So, and it's hardly ever on a weekend. It's almost always on like a Tuesday or something. Who wants to stay up till 9:30?
So what was the expressions from the grandkids?
Just wonderment. My granddaughters are a little older. So, and then there was this, this pop performer on the stage because they opened up the stage on one of the boxcars is actually a stage. And
I did not know that.
Yeah, and there's a live performance, a live band and stuff.
Nice.
And she had to get up front. And it was just, there was a light snow / freezing rain going. It was pretty cool.
Like a Hallmark setting.
It kind of was.
Nice.
A little more at the end of the freezing rain, which kind of freaked everybody out a little bit. It'd been better if it had been fluffy snow, but you can't complain. It was beautiful. And I saw you were at Night Ranger on Friday night up at Shooting Star. That looked awesome.
Yeah, so that's how my weekend started. So Night Ranger, once again, just knocked it out of the park.
Jack, everybody looking good.
Their tour manager took me backstage to actually meet the guys, which, I know a lot of people think in our biz that we always get that opportunity. We don't.
No, not. Especially nowadays.
Yeah, and the tour manager said, no, you got to come back and meet the guys. Because I was just hanging out ready to do the stage announcement. He goes, no, come
back
on. We got time.
Kind of
Let's go backstage. And then he even said, let's take a picture with them. So I got a cool picture with Jack and Sally.
Awesome.
And then I found out while I was backstage, because they were working on it, they were working on a Christmas song, a song they had never played live ever before. They had just put it together backstage.
So they played it Friday night.
Nice. And I got a clip from it.
Nice.
I tell you what, you guys ready to sing? Are you ready to sing? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Sing it. Feliz Navidad. Sing it. Go. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas.
So again, Night Ranger performing a Christmas song for us up there at Shooting Star Casino back there on Friday. They had just put it together backstage while I was hanging out with them. That was a cool experience.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Getting everybody in the festive mood. Good job.
And again, as we mentioned, maybe the only low light with our two favorite teams, the Vikings and the Bison, losing back there on Saturday. But I did make, for the first time ever, some tiger meat, which we all enjoyed.
I saw
Haven't had that
on Facebook.
Years.
I was like, that looked good, man. Oh, did it all go? Did it get that up?
There's a little bit left, and I'm going to take that and fry it up tonight and make some burritos out of it.
There you go. Right, yeah. That's cool.
Hey, we also asked you to leave your comments on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com, and we'll come back and visit those.
Now, here's the Fox Morning Show.
With a weekend roundup. Giddy up, y'all. Kriya!
On 107.9, The Fox.
All right, so we asked you to give us your highlight from the weekend. And we got a lot of great comments here on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com.
We did, and most of them are being with family.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason for the season, isn't other than, obviously Christmas and the birth of Christ, but grandson's 3rd birthday party, granddaughter's dance recital, early Christmas at Mom's, all the wonderfully interesting people you meet downtown between 2 and 4 a.m.
We had a lot of our listeners taking in the Blenders concert over the weekend,
too. Tommy Wool says, see my favorite bartender. That's always nice to reconnect at the holidays.
Right. Again, it's all about family and friends.
Nate Larson's jacked about the Fargo Force.
Boy, they are off to a great season.
22-3-1-0 on the season.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong.
Absolutely.
Darcy says a nap. Yes.
Ann said not going Christmas shopping, so she must have it all done.
Ah, good for you, Ann.
Yeah.
Rick Jansen said Lutfisk got the Sons of Norway.
There you go.
Gross.
apparently for Dave, the weekend isn't over. So he said you are assuming that the weekend is over.
Well, either you're retired or on vacation. So either way, good for you, man. Matthew says the butter rum they served at Blarney Stones, it's that good he might try to come back this morning for another. Amy got a new tattoo.
Hey, you should share that, Amy. I'd like to see that.
I'd like to see that. Yeah, depending on its location, of course. Sherry Huffman went to the Nutcracker Ballet and FMCT's production of It's a Wonderful Life. That sounds great, too.
How about Nathan and his raw quail egg with fish eggs and green onion shot?
Yeah, you go ahead, keep that, Nate. That's pretty gross. He even shared a picture of it, too.
He did, and the picture definitely looks way better than what I thought the drink would look like.
Both are gross, but at least, yeah, it's colorful. The Bills beating the Cowboys, says Ann. Sean says he didn't get hit by a meteor yet. One other guy said, Scott Monson said Polasek being named head coach, NDSU.
He's excited. Carrie baked 17 loaves of beer bread. I hope one of those loaves has our name on it.
Oh, well, yeah, good looking. It looks like she made some bagels, too, man. Yeah. Seeing my kids laugh, finding a car to purchase today, playing catch with my daughter. Sounds like a good weekend.
And Rick Jackson won $100 off a scratch-off ticket.
Wow.
Nice.
Rick, don't you owe me $110?
How was your weekend? Again, leave your comment on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com.
Now, here's today's headlines with the Fox Morning Show.
On 107.9, The Fox.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
Can we turn the radio on?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Well, this is rather festive, isn't it?
It's my favorite time of year.
How many days till Christmas vacation?
This is your vacation.
Get to work, Elf. Son of a nutcracker.
It's go time.
It is go time.
It is.
It is a week. It's less than a week.
Yeah, really. I mean, yeah, as far as shopping goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't allow us to shop on Christmas Day. Otherwise, we probably would.
Over there with the cigarette hanging out of your mouth. Go ahead, kids. Pick something you want out of there.
That's right.
C-Store's all yours.
And it's going to be a bit cool to start the work week. That Fox forecast says just 24 for the high today, but warmer starting tomorrow, mid to upper 30s for the rest of the work week and maybe even 40 by Friday. Currently, we do have 9 above at 8:05.
Welcome to it, the 18th day of December already. Can you believe it? Here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. Well, with only 6 bell-ringing days left, the Salvation Army in Fargo is reaching out to the community to help reach its 2023 Christmas goal. To date, the Army has raised almost $400,000 of its $950,000 goal. They say the Red Kettle Ringing campaign is keeping with last year's giving, but the mail-in donations are down significantly. Christmas is the single largest fund driver of the year for the Corps, while funds raised at Christmas support holiday events. The Salvation Army says they also help to serve local needs throughout the year. Responders were working late to rescue dozens of people stranded on ice in Upper Red Lake. Between 40 and 50 anglers became stranded yesterday on ice that broke away from the shore after strong winds caused the ice to shift. Upper Red Lake is a very popular fishing destination, frequently used before ice is stable. Last year, over 200 anglers were rescued after a large chunk of ice broke free of
You would
the...
have thought they would have learned from that.
You would think so. You've seen the movie Elf. You know what happens. There are no narwhals. They say that clear ice is the safest on a lake. Add 5 to 7 inches of ice when you want to use snowmobiles and small ATVs. 7 to 8 inches for side-by-sides. 9 to 10 inches for small vehicles or SUVs. Like I said earlier, I prefer around 6 feet.
That's right.
That'd be
Safety
nice.
first.
Safety first. I'm only here for the snacks and football.
That's right.
Sad to report on Friday that the L.A. County Medical Examiner's Office released an autopsy report stating Matthew Perry's cause of death. It was acute effects of ketamine. They found that the level of ketamine in his blood was equivalent to the amount typically used for general anesthesia. So he was out.
Yeah.
He was out,
and
just
then,
like on the OR table.
And then there's, of course, what was it? all that, or was it because he fell under the water? He drowned.
Anesthetized enough that absolutely.
Yeah.
Not in control of the last place you should be is in a hot tub.
Right.
On a couch.
Right.
Watching Family Guy. Yes.
Yeah. And his assistant had just left, so it was again like a perfect storm.
That was you can't put this on anybody other than him, But,
Well, and again,
if I'm an assistant, I'm not leaving if he's in a hot tub taking ketamine.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to sound like I'm putting this on the assistant.
Yeah. But I think they are looking into how he got so much into his system because he was taking some for his depression.
Maybe he thought he could handle what he took, just like every other overdose, you just, oof. More Americans being treated for high blood pressure and high cholesterol in 2023 when compared to pre-pandemic levels. Fewer respondents feel active every day, and only 28.5% said they're in near perfect health compared to almost 40% in 2019. Obesity rates have also increased about 6%. Nag. And finally, Americans, speaking of which, are eating an extra meal every day due to snacking. Ohio State says.
It's the fourth meal, yeah.
Well, it kind of is. They say on average it can be anywhere from 400 to 500 calories from snacks daily. And that's if you don't count a personal pan pizza as a snack.
Taco Bell even advertises it.
It's a snack.
A fourth meal.
Something for the car. That's your news for right now.
All right, hey, we got a recap of Saturday's Bison game with Sam Niederman, and, of course, a lot of talk about the new coach. So all that will be discussed here at about 8:20, along with his 3 quick picks in the NFL this hour, too. Speaking of sports, we got the schedule for today coming up next.
Miller, right wing, dribbles between the legs, now drives, squeezes through a shot, banks it in off the glass. Javis Miller with 15 points puts the Bison back up 58-54 and silences the crowd.
Oh, I've dribbled between my legs before, too. There's no shame, son.
Okay. Oh, the Bison looked so good early on. Miller there leading the way for the Bison with 18 points at a halftime lead of 35-28. But dang it, in the second half, it just didn't come together for him as the Redbirds roared back for a 75-65 win over NDSU. Kind of how it went for us all weekend with all of our favorite teams, right? All of our favorite teams had leads, and we saw them disappear. Our Bison men will be back on the road, traveling to Carbondale, Illinois, to play Southern Illinois tomorrow night. Catch all that right here on your Bison Nation station. Coverage starting at 6 and tip-off at 7. Of course, our Bison football team back there on Saturday lost in double overtime, man. What a heartbreaker. And it ends up being the final game for NDSU head coach Matt Entz, who earlier in the week announced he'll be the new assistant head coach and linebackers coach at USC. Entz leaves with a 60-11 record after his 5 years as the Bison head coach. Pretty freaking impressive. 60-11? Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, gonna miss ya.
Yeah, we will.
All right, so yesterday they already announced who the new guy is going to be.
This is fast.
Yeah, it is. And so Tim Polasek is coming kind of back home where he's been a couple of times already. Tim Polasek, your new head football coach for your NDSU Bison, returning to North Dakota State from Wyoming, where he was the offensive coordinator under former NDSU head coach Craig Bull for the past 3 seasons. But again, he had 2 other stints with us throughout the years. We'll talk more about that here shortly with Sam. But also a heartbreaker for our Vikings back there on Saturday, who also lost in overtime to the Bengals, dang it, 27-24. But the loss ended up not hurting them. They stayed right where they were when the weekend started, right there in the 6th spot. So they're still in the playoffs with 3 games to go. They control their own destiny to make the postseason. They'll be hosting the first-place Lions this coming Sunday at noon. So adjust your Christmas Eve stuff accordingly.
Right. Family get-together.
Yep.
Might need to reschedule.
The Lions coming off a big win over the Broncos back there on Saturday night. Also within our division, the Bears and the Packers both losing. A huge loss for the Packers as they fell out of the playoff race, falling from the 7th seed all the way down to the 11th seed. The Rams, with their win, are now the last team in the playoff picture. Also, the Bills beating up the Cowboys yesterday 31-10, and last night on Sunday Night Football, the Ravens over the Jags 23-7. Week 15 wraps up with the Eagles at the Seahawks on Monday Night Football. That's your Fox Sports. That Fox forecast again today with lots of sunshine, but cooler with a high just reaching 24. Warmer the rest of the week with highs in the 30s and maybe even 40 by Friday. It's 9 above now at 8:14.
Bison Blitz is coming with Sam Niederman. Find out what you didn't know about Saturday's game coming up.
Bison Blitz is on. Sam Niederman,
I'm ready.
The voice of the Bison.
Horns up. Go Bison, baby.
Joins the Fox Morning Show to talk Bison football. Presented by Pendleton Whiskey at 107.9 The Fox.
Hey, Sam Man. How's it going, brother?
Good, gentlemen. Great to be with you.
You too, buddy. Let's talk a little bit about the game first, and then we'll get to that big announcement that was made yesterday. Now, back there on Saturday, what a heartbreaker, losing after 2 overtimes. Man, our Bison battled to the end, but a few too many penalties maybe, huh?
Boy, a lot of penalties.
A lot of penalties, guys. And it was, one, the atmosphere was incredible. I mean, I don't think I've ever done a game in atmosphere like that. It might have been the best one I've ever been a part of, fan, broadcaster, what have you. The crowd definitely was a difference. The home field definitely affected the Bison a little bit with the false start penalties. And, I think you said it there, Moose. I think, you look at what NDSU, they had a chance to win this game. I thought they were the better team. I thought they had Montana beat at the end of regulation. Just the reality of it is that they didn't make a few winning plays, right? We had some drops and some key spots that I think turned some touchdowns into field goals, so we left money on the table in the red zone. Yeah, penalties kind of kept us from getting to drive. I thought the defense was incredible. I thought the defense did a really good job in this game. They really won the second half, and I think they limited Montana. I didn't think Montana had anything on the Bison defense by the end of the game, and I don't think Montana would have been able to put together an actual full-field drive against the Bison any more times. I mean, I think they benefited from having the overtime where you've got the short field, and then they were able to kind of scrunch it down and achieve some more. So, tough loss, heartbreaking loss. You know, the end there, the play call was a tough break for the Bison. You know, they had something in their back pocket. It just didn't work out. Montana was ready for it, and, you know, you come up one play short. That's how magnified it is in these types of games, and it was awesome to be a part of that game. You know, it was an all-time classic. Just wish the Bison would have been on the right side of it.
Absolutely.
Right,
and what a run, though, for the Bison. I mean, to go on the road like they had to and right down to, again, 2 overtimes to decide who went on to Frisco. And I sure hope they're all holding their heads high, because I'm super proud on how, again, they responded when they had to.
You're absolutely right. I think they clawed, they fought, they showed resiliency. I don't think any other team, and I would say maybe not even like South Dakota State in that setting, has a chance to get out of there the way that the Bison did. I mean, they had a chance to do that. Everybody else would have folded, I think, in that situation, with the exception of maybe SDSU. So, I mean, they gave Montana a run for their money. I think if that game's played in Fargo, they come out on top. I think if that game's played on a neutral field, the Bison come out on top. But credit to Montana, you know, their defense really elevated their chances. They got pressure. They blitzed like there was no tomorrow, because there wasn't. And that affected NDSU's game plan a little bit. And at the end of the day, they just made 1 or 2 more winning plays, and that ended up being the difference.
Yeah. Now, looking ahead to next season, we already know who our new head coach is going to be. And we'll talk about that next. We're back with Sam Niederman, the voice of the Bison, and the announcement that I think really got Bison Nation excited yesterday.
Isn't that incredible? And I mean, Tim Polasek coming back home to Fargo, and I mean, that's going to be something to see today at the Shack when he's introduced as a 32nd head coach of the Bison with his introductory press conference. I can't believe it. It's surreal to see another Bison head coach. You know, I think it's going to be a great move for NDSU. He's going to bring in energy, intensity. He is a Bison through and through. This is somebody who paid his dues with this program and started from scratch. You know, Tim Polasek started with the Bison in 2006 as a GA.
Yeah.
He was a GA in 2006 and came out here basically sleeping on the Fargo Dome couch in the basement of the Fargo Dome in the football offices. I mean, you want to talk about worked his way up the ranks. You know, he was here originally as a assistant coaching running backs, fullbacks, and tight ends. He went over to Northern Illinois for a year, 2013, and then from there came back to be the offensive coordinator for the Bison from 14 to 16. So I think it's a great fit. You know, you wanted to get somebody with Bison here. That's what sustained the program. When you have something at NDSU where there's tradition, where there's history, you need people who know it and understand it. And Tim Polasek is going to check those boxes. And he's going to give NDSU some valuable experience that's necessary for what's to come in a changing landscape of college football with AFL and the transfer portal. You've got to have somebody who's understanding of that, who has recruiting connections, will be able to build a good staff. Polasek has that from his FBS experience going to Iowa as the offensive coach. He was at Iowa for 4 years. He was most recently at Wyoming, their offensive coordinator under Craig Bohl. You're talking about a guy who was Bohl, trusted lieutenant in the Bowl days at NDSU, and just with him recently before he retired at Wyoming. Yeah. So I think massive hire for NDSU. I'm really excited to see Coach Polasek, to work with him.
Yeah.
See what he's got up his sleeve, because I think he's going to bring the juice.
Yeah, judging by the comments that I've been seeing on social media, Bison Nation is super excited about this announcement. So that is something definitely to look forward to. And again, before we know it, the next Bison football season will be here. The NFL season is not over, and unfortunately,
well,
we'll come back with Sam Niederman's 3 quick picks in the NFL. We didn't make any money this weekend, but you know what? You still got overall an impressive record there, Sam. 27-18 in your 3 quick picks in the NFL. You did get the Bills beating the Cowboys, and they beat them in a big way. So your lock pick was golden. You came so close with your upset pick. And I thought you went way out on the edge on this one. I was surprised that the Commanders kept it as close as they did, but they did not cover that 6.5. They lost by 8, so you were 1.5 points off on that one with the Rams winning. And then our Vikings losing in a heartbreaker, to the Bengals back there on Saturday in overtime as well. And so that one, unfortunately, didn't go our way either. But 1-2 for the weekend, 27-18, like I said, overall, still pretty impressive.
We're 9 up. We're slacking a little bit here, Dave. We're slacking. I've got to really stick the landing here, because I don't like how we've had back-to-back weeks, couple swings and misses. That Commanders pick, I risked it all, and I just thought 6.5 was a lot, especially I don't think the Rams are that impressive. That's where I was kind of thinking there. But, yeah, Bill, that was a surprise. That's why that was a lock. But, my goodness, the Vikings, I mean, crazy. I didn't get to see much of the game in the moment because we were doing an amazing game, but what are you going to do? So we'll bounce back this coming week.
We will. We'll be back. We'll be back on top before you know it. And again, even though that'll wrap it up this season for the Bison Blitz, we still got your 3 quick picks in the NFL going forward.
I can't wait, man. We're gonna rock it, and we're gonna see what we can do. We're 9 up right now. We got to get that back to double digits.
Sounds good. You have safe travels. We're going to be listening to you again tomorrow night when you broadcast live from Carbondale, Illinois for some Bison men's basketball.
I can't wait. Yeah, on 7 o'clock tip, so it'll be good. It's going to be a long travel day getting down to St. Louis and renting a car, but appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you when we do the basketball game.
Perfect.
All right, bud. You take care. Sam Niederman, voice of the Bison. We'll see you when you get back in town, bud.
All right. Thanks, Boost. Thanks, Dave. Go Bison.
You bet.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.